Can you explain that one to me? Inside with a minion or outside be yechidus? I hope that's not lamaisa.
My wife works at Manhattan Psych. Do you want to send him her number? Maybe they can work that out.
I don't know. Let me tell you. Sheesh. Okay.
Anyways, minion. They don't want to go outside.
Maybe. I don't know what the. Okay. Shine. All right. So the new Perek. Yeah, but Isha. What can the Isha go out with? Yeah.
Hold on, but what do you respond to that with?
I just said outside. I didn't. We'll see if there's a follow-up. No.
You're doing the chazor? You're not doing the chazor.
I just did the chazor. Everybody in Nach didn't do anything wrong.
That's right.
That's the chazor. What? I'm saying, you want to go through the names? Okay, so the names from yesterday were
you were muted. You were muted by the chazor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Elio's kids didn't do anything wrong. Then David HaMelech. Then Shlomo HaMelech. And who's that? That was it, right? Yeah, and then Shlomo HaMelech.
Is Kunch on?
Yeah, he was there, but he's not on video. Okay, so Zog the Gemara. So now Bamei Isha is, by the way, the longest siman in Shulchan Aruch, next to maybe Muksa, is this Perek. I mean, Shulchan Aruch, it's like, I don't know how many pages it is, but it's very long, which, Baruch Hashem, a lot of it is not Negei L'maisa because our mode of dress changed, right? But basically, so what this Perek is all about is what is a woman and a man allowed to wear with their clothing, and what are they not allowed to wear outside on Shabbos. Okay? So if it's a tachshit, meaning if it's jewelry, according to the Torah, it's allowed to be worn. If it's not, if it's extra, like we'll see in a couple of days, can you wear 2 belts instead of 1 belt? So then that's not a tachshit, it's a masa. Just to bring up an example, in the old days, and I actually did this when I was a kid and I went to Brooklyn for Shabbos, I was eating in one house, sleeping in another. So they gave me this belt to wear with a key on it, right? But it wasn't a belt, it was just a string. It looked like a string that, you take the bakery box. So what did I didn't know from anything. I put it around me like, what kind of, that's not a tachshit, right? There was no way, that was carrying on Shabbos. I mean, it wouldn't be a deraisa, but that was carrying on Shabbos. So what about
the silly belt clip?
No, a belt clip is much better.
Tie clip.
Tie clip is fine because that's actually functioning as an accessory to your, you know what I mean? To your clothing.
I thought as a kid I had a gold belt, made it like a nice one.
Right, that's what you do. So that's fine because it has to act as a function. It has to have a functioning part of an accessory. I don't think they had the word accessory back then, but now it's a big word, right? So it has to be a good accessory. But stam to just put on like that, it doesn't work. That's just a mushal of what we're going to be dealing with here. Okay, so Zog the Mishna. Nun Zayin Amalaf on the top. What can a woman go out with and what can she not go out with? She can't go out with strings of wool, and not strings of flax, and not other types of strings that are in her hair. These are all things that are tied into her hair, which we'll see in the Gemara what these are exactly. And if she has to go to the Mikva, she can't go to the Mikva with them on until she loosens them up, which is also very interesting, which means they can be on her when she goes to the Mikva. She just has to loosen them. But like to tefes, and not with certain types of like they go across the forehead, like sort of like I don't know if it's I don't know headbands. I guess a headband would be the right type of thing. There's manchein tfurim that when they're not sewn on, and not with a kovel, which also the Gemara is going to explain what that is. And not with a golden city. These are all types of headbands. And she can't go out with a katla. Gemara is going to say what that is too. Nizam is nose rings. And she can't go out with the ring that doesn't have a seal on it, meaning rings that were used to seal envelopes and letters and stuff like that. She can't go out with a needle that doesn't have a hole in it, right? Because that's obviously not something that would be an adornment. That would be something else. But if she goes out, she's not. That's an important point. If she does, these are all us to go out with. If she does go out with it, she's not chayav chatas, right? And look at the last Rashi, just the last Rashi in the Mishnah. Vim yotzas eina chayav es chatas. The kulu tachshitin inhu. They're all considered tachshit. I mean, these, according to the Torah, these are all considered accessories that a person would put on the body. And the Rabbanan are the ones that made a gezerah, because perhaps if she goes out to the street with these things on, she's going to take it off to show it to her friend, and then she's going to end up carrying. Okay? Right? So again, so me'ikar adin, according to the Torah, as long as it's an accessory to your clothing, you're fine with it. But the Rabbanan made a gezerah. In most cases, they made a gezerah that they were afraid if it's any particular type of thing that you're going to take it off and show it to people, then it's a problem. Okay?
Are we saying that this is specifically that either this is just a din in women and we're going to get another Mishnah for men, or are we saying that men don't wear accessories?
No, it's an excellent question. The Gemara is going to discuss men. And it's because men are going to be less showy about these things than women. So it's going to be a little bit different parameters, but yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we're going to see with men. Okay, so the thing the Gemara starts with is that the Mishnah is talking about what you're allowed to go out with, what a woman's allowed to go out with, and then all of a sudden it says she has to loosen it up for tefillah. So the Gemara asks, tefillah man dochar shma, who mentioned the word about tefillah? What is that? Why is tefillah stuck into this Mishnah? No, that's coming to explain the reasons in the Mishnah. Why can a woman go out with these strings in her hair? Because since the Chacham said that during the week, if she's wearing these things in her head, she's not allowed to go to the mikvah until she loosens them up. And since during the week, she can't be toivel them until she loosens them up. Shabbos, then she can't go out with them on Shabbos at all. Because perhaps all of a sudden in the middle of Shabbos, she's going to become tameh. Obviously, we're talking about tumah for not necessarily for nida. We're talking about for tumah and tara. So she may become tameh, and she may need to go to the mikvah. Perhaps she'll have to go to the mikvah. A tefillah of mitzvah v'shaylu, and then she's going to loosen it up. Now, once she loosens these things up from her hair, then she may carry in dalaramas v'shasarabim, which obviously is not a good thing, right? So again, the reason for the first few cases in the Mishnah is because since she has to loosen it for the mikvah, she may have to go to the mikvah on Shabbos and loosen it up, and then end up carrying it. Yeah.
Is it mashma from this Gemara that loosening means taking it off? Otherwise, if it's just loose, why is it carrying?
Okay,
it's
so the way
right.
So I hear, but I the way I understood it was similar to the animal, that if it's gonna be loose, like the the halter or whatever we call that thing. If it's gonna be loose on the animal, then we're afraid that it's gonna fall off, and then you're gonna end up picking it up. Meaning it's really, we're not afraid she's gonna lichatchila carry. We're just afraid it's gonna fall off if you loosen it, and then she'll end up carrying it. You're not gonna put it back on. I don't know if that's right pshat, but that's why I understood it. Yeah. So Rav Kana Rav Kana asked the question from Rav Tichi Chalil Tomai. So these are very like chains, right? It's like some sort of whatever these ropes are, but they're made of chains, right? So they're loose. So what's the story with that? Meaning those you wouldn't have to loosen to go to the mikvah. So what's the story? Can you go out? Amarlei, Arik Amr, you're talking about something that's woven. Kalshu Arik like Gazur. They did not make a gzeira on anything that's woven, and then therefore she could go out with it. Itmanami Amr Avuna Breid Rav Yeshua Kalshu Arik like Gazur. Whatever is woven is not a problem because that doesn't have to be loosened for the mikvah, and then Mamela she's not going to take it off. Okay. Vigada Amri Amr Avuna Breid Rav Yeshua Chazina Lachvasi. I saw my sisters, the light captain alive, that they weren't makpid to take these things off. This what do you call it? This tichi chalilta that we're talking about. They were not makpid to remove it for mikvah. Ma'ika bein hachlish and vein hachlish. Now, what's the difference? Right? We just got finished saying that you can wear it on Shabbos because you don't have to take it off a mikvah. So what is he adding? If they got dirty, what happens if these chains that they have in their hair got dirty? Like Azru, according to the Lashon that says that if it was woven...
that in the mikvah, the sisters in the mikvah will stop water bathing.
What?
It wasn't mikvah. The sisters...
Either one.
Rashi, look, what does Rashi say?
Hold on, I got to find the Rashi. I have an old Gemara over here.
The Lord captain alive.
Okay, right. It can mean either one. Whatever. They didn't take it out of the hair. That's the main point. They didn't take it out of the hair. Right. So you see that water goes through. Right.
The hanov washes. It's bleeding. It could be what?
No, meaning they didn't take it off at all. Meaning they could care less that it went. Meaning that clearly this thing is porous, because otherwise they would want to take it off in order to wash the hair properly. Right? Yeah, that's the point. I think the point is that you see that the girls were not makbid to take this thing off so that the hair gets washed properly. So clearly the water penetrates and goes through the thing. No?
He's got to read one more line in Rashi.
The kivin shekain le'inyan tefillah.
No, the kivin shekain, so then le'inyan tefillah nami lo yitzir latiran. Since that's the case and it's porous, so mamela, we're going to learn out from that for tefillah too. But you're right. You are right. The Rashi's really going that they didn't take it off even for rechitza. But it ends up coming out that it's going to be the same for tefillah. Yeah, very good. Right? So the nafkamina is if it got dirty. Right? Meaning, let's say this chain got dirty. So if it's because it's the first reason that it's woven and therefore it's porous, loy gazru. So haninami arug, these are also woven, and therefore you can go to the mikva with them. But the second lashon about the sisters that they didn't care about it being on. Even the tnifa makbid kvavti allow, since they do get dirty, since they're dirty, the women are going to take them off for bathing. And therefore, those dirty ones, you would not be able, according to the second reason that he brings from his sisters, if they would be dirty, you would not be able to go out with it on Shabbos. Right? That's the difference between the reasons. Okay, again, the first reason would hold that if it's stam woven, it's okay even if it's dirty. The second reason is if it's dirty, it's not going to work since they would take it off when they bathe because it's going to make them dirty if they leave it on. Okay, so Tan Hasam, they learned the Mishna over the Ve'elu chatzitza ba'adam. Okay, so Agav, by the way, so that Bizman Hazeh, where machmer, that women have to remove everything, that is a chumrah of the Ramah. That's not ikar halacha. The Mechaber doesn't hold that. And may ikar adin, women can go with these things as long as they're porous and they're loose. I think we discussed it a couple of weeks ago. Even shasatchak, some person would allow them to go with a bathing suit if necessary. Depending on the situation, but me'ikar adin it would be as long as the water gets through the bathing suit, which I think it does. Yeah, maybe not where it's elastic. You have to work that out. Yeah, Tanan Hasim. So the Mishna says these are the things that are chatzitza about a person, meaning for a person. Let's see, chutei tzemer, chutei pishton, v'rtzu shebarashei havanos. Chutei tzemer, v'chutei pishton. And ritzuas that are on the heads of the banos. If they're made out of wool, and if they're made out of hair, meaning somebody, I guess like a shaitel type thing, and those are not chatzitza because water comes into them. Right? And they're all talking about if they're in the head of the daughters. So Maskal of Yosef, what's he coming to exclude? Right. Well, what was he adding here? We said we're talking about in the hair, and then he says it's talking about these are all things that go in the hair. So Rabbi Yosef was saying, what are you coming to exclude? Or because maybe they put these things around the neck, right? So if you're saying they come to exclude something on the neck, right? With the mice, and then what's it talking about? What type of string around the neck is it? If you're talking about it's coming to exclude a wool chain. Right, it's not like an accessory, a chain made out of wool that goes around the neck. If we're saying that something soft on top of something hard, it has a chatzitza. So right, so this is soft. Tzemer is soft. On top of hair is a chatzitza. So something soft around the neck, which is also soft. Of course, that's going to be a chatzitza because it's going to get tighter, right? If something's soft on something hard, right? When you try to tie something soft onto something hard, it doesn't really get so tight, right? Because it doesn't sink into it. So there's always a space there. So the water is going to get in. But if you take something soft on something soft, then the water won't get there because you'll be able to tie it very tight. So if it doesn't work on hair, so of course it's not going to work on the neck. It must be talking about flax, right? So hashta kosher gabi kosher chatzitza. If we're saying that it's a chatzitza hard on hard, meaning the flax on the hair, we're saying is a chatzitza. Kasha gabi rachmi bai. Do I need to tell you that something hard on something soft? Something hard on something soft is definitely going to be a chatzitza. Meaning, something hard on something hard is you're not going to be able to tighten it. Something hard on something soft you'll be able to tighten it better than something hard on hard. And something soft on soft, certainly you're going to be able to tighten it. So therefore, there's a different levels of chatzitzas. Either way, what is he talking about when he said it's only talking about on the hair, right? Yeah, meaning that on the hair it's mutter. Elam Rav Yosef, Hainu time of the meaning is he coming to exclude the neck, it has to be a koshken. Elam Rav Yosef, Hainu time of the Ravuna, Lafishain Isha Chanekes Es Atzma. No, what he means is that a woman on the neck, it's going to be okay because we're 5 lines up from the bottom, Simon. On the neck, it's going to be okay because a woman will never tighten her nun zayin, right? We're not going to. A woman will never tighten something on her neck so tight that the water won't get in there, right? Because otherwise she'll choke herself, right? So therefore, that's what he's saying. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. Are we good with that? So Abai has the kasha. The girls can go out with these strings in their ears. I think that they put them in their ears. Rashi says, that you put them in their ears so that the ears don't close up, right? If you leave the earring hole open for a bit, then they're gonna close up. So they put these strings in the ears to keep them open. So abanos can go out on Shabbos with these things, and they can't go out with these like necklaces around their neck. And if he's saying that a woman will not choke herself, then why can't they go out on Shabbos with these things around their neck? Right? They're not going to choke themselves, so they're not going to loosen it from mikvah, so why can they go out? We're talking about a choker, right? A woman will be willing to choke herself with this sort of device. There are pictures, right? I'm sure everybody's seen these old pictures of women that have these very tight neck things that push up all the fat in their face, and therefore it makes their face look fat, which was very in style back then, and therefore they were willing to walk around with something so tight in order that they should look good, right? Sort of the equivalent of walking around in high heels nowadays, right? They're willing to do that so they should look good, even though that's quite painful. So we're saying the same thing with this neck thing, so therefore we're chayshin for that. Yeah? Fine. Rabbi Yehuda says that semer and seir, wool and hair, are now chatzitza because the water penetrates them. Amar Rabbi Yosef, Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Shmuel, halacha Rabbi Yehuda, halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda. The halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda by chutei seir. Right? Meaning there's 2 things mentioned. There's made out of hair and made out of wool. Right? Rabbi Yehuda says there's no chatzitza. Rabbi Yehuda is saying the halacha is like him. It must be somebody argues, but the Tanna Kama doesn't argue. Meaning the Tanna Kama doesn't seem to argue about hair. Right? He seems to argue by wool. He's not arguing by hair. If he's saying halacha, that means that somebody must disagree with him. And if you're going to say had he not heard it from the Tanna Kama, that the Tanna Kama held that seir is a chatzitza, he wouldn't have discussed it either. So Mamela by Rabbi Yehuda discussing it and saying that seir is not a chatzitza, must be the Chacham held not like that. No, but maybe he just meant like this. Just like you're minded to me that hair is pourus and it's not a chatzitza, and therefore she can carry it out on Shabbos, she can wear it on Shabbos. So you should also agree with me by strings of wool. So we don't know why Rabbi Yehuda would have said halacha is by chutei seir, but seemingly nobody argues with him. No, the Chachamim are moeded to Rabbi Yehuda by hair. We have a brisa like that says a beferish. According to the Tanna Kama, wool is a chatzitza, hair is not a chatzitza. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees, and he says wool and hair are not chatzitza. The Mishna also is medoyek like this. The Katani yoytze isha b'chutei seir bein mishalah bein mishal charada. Right. So we said a woman can go out, and we're gonna learn this in like 6 blot, right? That an isha can go out with a wig, basically, whether it's hers or whether it's a friend's, right? That's a good thing, right? That otherwise, if we're machmer on the friends, then I don't know what would be with ladies nowadays. So money, Rabbi Yehuda, if it's Rabbi Yehuda, then even wool you could also go with. Elalav Rabbanan here must be the Rabbanan. B'shmamina b'chutei seir lo pligi must be the Chacham. Don't argue by chutei seir. Shmamina, and that's what we pass. And so basically, there is no machlokes, and a woman can go out with any sort of strings made out of human hair, even her own hair, as long as she doesn't go out with wool. Wool is a machlokes, hair is no problem.
The last part, Yaitse Isha b'chutei seir. Tell me, Yaitse Isha. Can you say it again?
Which one? The last one? Right, so that's going to be a Mishnah later. So there it says a woman could go out with these strings of hair. It's sort of like hair added into their wig, I guess, whatever it is. Whether it's hers, whether it's a friend's. Right, so now who's the Tana of that brisa? If it's Rabbi Yehuda, it can't be Rabbi Yehuda because Rabbi Yehuda even allows wool. If you allow a woman to go out with these strings made out of wool, then of course you can go out with strings made out of hair. Elalav Rabbanan, he must be the Rabbanan. And if it's the Rabbanan, so clearly you see that the Rabbanan hold that hair they can go out with because water gets through hair and they're not going to take it off in Mikva. So we see that the Chachamim don't disagree by chutei seir. Shmamino, that everybody agrees that chutei seir is not a problem on Shabbos. And they could wear chutei seir.
Chutei seir today. How is it? How do we?
I don't think there's such a thing except other than a wig. The only thing is like a sheitel, or you know what I think maybe chutei seir is extensions. That's a good taka. You know these extensions that girls wear. Anybody aware of this stuff?
I think yeah.
Women wear hair extensions.
Schwarzes wear it.
Schwarzes wear it, yes. But a lot of Jewish girls wear it too.
I'm talking about the chutei seir.
Chatas, yeah, they get into it very much.
There's extensions and then there's weaves. The Schwarzes wear the weaves.
Okay.
So the weave we said, Arig is fine. The Gemara said
extensions today wouldn't be carrying?
Extensions, very good. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, extensions would not be carrying because they could leave the extensions on from Mikva. Because it's pourus. I've had a couple situations where women had to go to them. We had to be matter the woman to go to the mikveh with the hair extensions. It's not lechatchila to go to mikveh with that because of that ramah, but the maisa, it's okay. Although I don't know, maybe those it could be Reb Zev. It could be that those hair extensions nowadays are not human hair. So then I don't know, right? If it's not human hair, it's polyester. Then I don't know.
Then it's like the headband.
It could be. I don't know. We'd have to look into that. Could be.
Why then do Sfardim not hold of shetels in general? Then we know the Chacham Avadia said that for whatever reason that Sfardim don't hold by it.
Right.
We clearly see at the time of the Gemara and things like that they had these things.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Rabbi Avadia. I think Rabbi Avadia is really because of today's shetels. I don't think it's so much the concept of shetels in Bechlal. I think he's against shetels, today's shetels.
It's more human hair, maybe.
Yeah, that it looks better than
hair
the regular. I think that's what where he's coming from, not from the concept of. Although there are Rishonim that hold that it's not. It's all machlokes whether you using other goyim's hair, is that considered your own hair? Meaning benageya to making brachas in front of it, but I think that's where he's coming from. Yeah. Okay. Loy b'tetafas, not with a tetafas. That's not tefillin, by the way. Loy tetafas not tefillin, right? So my tetafas, I mean, it comes from that word. It certainly comes from that word. Yeah. What is tetafas? So Amar Rav Yosef chumrasa de katifta. It's Rashi says it's some sort of amulet, like we discussed last week. An amulet to take away ayin hara. Chumrasa de katifta, to take away. It's something you wore around your neck in order to make sure that nobody has ayin hara on you. Amar le'abayah to have a kikmiya mumcha v'tishteri. It should be like an amulet of a mumcha, which is going to be mutter. We didn't have that yet. We discussed it last week, parenthetically, but we're going to have that a mumcha's kmiya, meaning as long as it's proven to work, that's pshat in the mumcha. So then that's considered legit, and you can carry that on Shabbos. So why wouldn't this be considered like that too? It's an afu zaina. It's some sort of gold. I don't know how to touch it. It's something like a gold headband or something. Tanya Nami Hachi, Yotzi Isha B'Svacha, Hamusheves, U'B'Teteves, U'B'Sarbitin Akfuan Ba. A woman could go out with a svacha, which is also some sort of Rashi. It's interesting. The Gemara has it as a samach. Rashi has it as a sin, right? Right. A svacha is a headband, which Rashi says if she would take it off, her hair will be uncovered. So therefore, we're not choshed that she's going to take it off. Hamusheves, a gold one, of a tetefes, of a sarbitan, a kvun ba, and a tetefes, and this with this headband and the sarbitan that are attached to it. Right? Ezu tetefes, ezu sarbitan. What's a tetefes and what's a sarbitan? Amravo tetefes, amukefes lami oizen la oizen. A tetefes covers her whole head from ear to ear, meaning it goes around the ear from her head from ear to ear. Sarbitan amagian la adlecha, and sarbitan are some sort of things that dangle on the side, and they reach down to, they hang on this thing, and they reach down to like their cheeks, to the cheekbones, right? Amarav Huna Anias Eisenais and Shalmine Tzevainin. Poor people make it from colored clothing. Ashiras Eisenais and Shalkezav Shalzav. And rich ones make it out of silver and gold. Okay. Beloy Bekovel. Right? So what is a kovel? Omar Raviana, kovel zeh any day ma'u. I love that line. I'm mechaven to that one every day. Right? I don't know what a kovel is. Givaldik. Yeah, that's yes. Ikavla the avda. Right, ma. I don't know. Ikavla the avdatan. I don't know whether it's a kavla the avda, meaning it's something that a slave wears. I will keep a shaltzemer shopper dummy, but some sort of hat made out of wool that you can go out with. I do but keep a shaltzemer tanan, but kosher can kavla the avda, or maybe it's a hat made out of wool. And kosher can a kavla the avda you can go out with. Summer of Evo, Mustaver Kamandam, keep a shaltzemer. Mustam, it's like the Madama that says that it's a keep of wool. Tanan, Tanya Namiocha, Yoitzish of a kavel, ubis tatma the chotzer. A woman could go out with this kavel and this is tatma to the chotzer. Even to a kavel and Rosh Hashanah. Klal Amar of Shimon Elazar, Koshu Lamatim and Asvacha Yoitzibay, Koshu Lamalim and Asvacha and Yoitzibay. Whatever's higher than this thing, meaning if it goes on top of it, then you can go out with it. If it goes under it, then you can go out with it, because she's not going to take this thing off, because then her hair is going to be seen, and then nobody, and obviously she doesn't want that. But if it's above it, then you can't, because then she'll take those things off, because her hair is still covered by whatever's under there, the cap. Right? My istama, Amarababo Bizyoni. My Bizyoni, Amarababai, Amarav Kalya Pruchi. Right? It's some sort of small headband. I keep saying the same headband because that seems to be that's what all these things are.
Halachos today. What are women allowed to walk out? What are they not allowed to walk out with?
Well,
hats, headbands.
The problem is that the halacha l'maisa today changed because the Gemara is going to say the Shulchan Aruch is going to say that we allow them to go out with whatever they want because mutav shiu shaygin, like we discussed last week, because they're not going to listen anyways, and since it's the Rabbanon, so therefore we let them go out. Now,
what's the Rabbanon?
All this is the Rabbanon, like we said.
It's not the Rabbanon. We're afraid they're going to walk.
No, but that's still a Rabbanon. Look at the last Rashi in the Mishnah we saw. Look at the last Rashi in the Mishnah, and he says that all this is the Rabbanon. But by the way, there's a Machlokes Rashi. Rashi holds, and I should have pointed this out before, so thank you. Rashi holds that these things are not allowed to be worn in the house either, because we're afraid that they're going to take it out from the house and take it out to Rosh Hashanah. Okay, why it's not a gezerah legezerah? It says like it's all one big gezerah.
So just say it's muksa.
Well, then memela it's going to become muksa. It's meaning
right.
According to Rashi, you can't even wear this inside your house or inside your chutzah. Maybe in your house, yeah, that's another story. But in your chutzah for sure not, because we're afraid that she's going to carry it out. Right? That's Rashi in the Mishnah.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's the Rabbanon? So a lady's going to walk out with a hat or with earrings in the street.
Yeah, so that's something that she wants to wear. So it's the Rabbanon. That's the Daraisa. She's fine.
Why? She might. Why?
Because it's her clothing. She might. Anytime there's a she might, there's a Rabbanon. Anytime a woman does, anytime it says she might, right? Then it's a Rabbanon. Right?
Well, when does it make it the right? So when does it make it the Rabbanon?
The what?
When does it make it the right? So when does it make it the Rabbanon? An article of clothing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
When does the article?
By the way, we're finished with the daf. So anybody that wants to log off, we're done for tonight. So a good tvach and a good yah. If anybody wants to sit and talk and learning, so give out. Yeah, go ahead. What are you saying?
When does the article of clothing determine? When is it deraisa? When is it derabanan?
It's anytime you're wearing anything. It's not. It's deraisa. It's fine.
A scarf.
Yes, it's going to be unless it's dangling on, which we're going to see over the next couple of blot. That maybe the way you wear it could be a shtickle of an issue. But as long as things are normally worn, normally, it's going to be deraisa fine.
When would women not wear something normally?
What?
When would women not wear something normally? What do you mean by that?
No, meaning we're going to see, I don't know if it's tomorrow or the next day, about somebody who takes, oh no, it's tomorrow. Somebody who takes his scarf, instead of wearing it the regular way,
they wear it around their waist. They wear it around their waist. Instead of it, they wear it around their waist.
Exactly.
Or they take a belt and they swing it over their shoulders.
Yeah.
If that's not the normal way, so then you wouldn't be allowed to carry.
Correct.
So why is a tie clip? I mean, that was made up.
So that's what's going to depend. If that's the normal way for people to wear it, then yeah. If it's a place that nobody ever wears a tie clip, then maybe taka will be a problem. Maybe it would be a problem. Yeah.
So you mean you wouldn't, in a place where it wouldn't be normal, would be a different halacha?
Yeah, 100%.
You wear a scarf in Eretz Yisrael, in Tel Aviv, it might be fun.
Correct. Yeah, on top of in my bathroom. Yeah, and Hanami. Well, you have to see all these Gemaras because it's a lot. There's a lot here, and there's any little thing can make all the difference in the psak. It's very vague. It's very vague. So hopefully we'll get some clarity on it. What are you saying, Gershon?
Use these things to paskin other types of things, or the Gemara's going to go through every single scenario?
That's the problem. It seems to go through all their scenarios. We have to plug it into the contemporary things. Right, October Observer. Is he still on? You know, like
Can I ask you, Shaila, which simon in Shulchan Aruch?
Simin Shin Aleph, Shin Beis, Shin Gimel over there.
And that would be today or no?
Today, yeah. Everything is going to be Shin Aleph. Everything should be Shin Aleph, Shin Gimel. Shin Aleph and Shin Gimel.
It's going to be contemporary today or no?
Schwach.
What can I look just contemporary today?
Contemporary today. Probably Rabbi, what's the name? Rabbi Ribiat, I imagine. I'll try and look. But I'll tell you one of the chumras that people have nowadays, like rolling up the sleeves. There are machmirim that hold. You're not allowed to roll. I think we discussed it. You're not allowed to roll up the sleeves.
You said something last week. I didn't understand what you were saying.
Yeah, this is the pshat, because when you roll up the sleeves, that's not the derech to wear it.
And in what
I thought because when you roll up the sleeve, the part that's rolled up, there's one part that's not needed anymore.
Right, so that's
extra.
Not the derech.
It's like that string hanging in front.
Didn't you just say?
Yeah.
Didn't you say that there was going to be a whole different Misa, a whole different set of halachos on men versus women in this?
There's going to be a little bit of a difference, yeah.
So then, if that's the case, I mean, I guess Bismana said a lot of people. I mean, my assumption is you have your sleeves rolled up right now, and if not,
usually I do. Yes, usually I do.
Then why? Then how would that be an issue if that's what you do throughout the week, and if that's what a lot of people do throughout the week?
And that would change. Yes, that would change it. But others are going to say no. Wear short sleeves. Wear short sleeves.
Is anyone else concerned about Simon's Shabbos?
Oh yeah, Taka. My mother asked. Simon, you survived?
Yeah, why not? 60 minutes.
You did 60 minutes?
There you go. Okay, good for you.
Proud of him. Amazing.
I'm smoking a cigar in celebration.
Yes, you should. Take a drink with that too.
Man, don't let Danielle hear you on that. Oof.
Why not?
All right. Anyways, all right. I'm signing off. A good talk, everybody.
Good talk. Thank you.
A good talk and a good year.